Here are 5 stories my grandpappy told me when I was just a boy. 1. The hunger below. Now, this one my granddad told me when I was about your age. He said it was passed down from the miners back in his time, and those men, they didn't scare easy. There was a little mining town, hidden in a valley no one remembers the name of now. The miners there struck a strange kind of ore, glowing faintly green like it was alive. They called it the heart of the earth. But the thing is, it started whispering to them soft at first, just on the edge of hearing. Folks thought it was the wind through the tunnels, until it got louder. One night, the foreman went missing. They found his lantern still burning, but he wasn't there. When they searched, they came across a massive cavern, bigger than any they'd ever seen. The walls were covered in faces, not carved, no. These faces moved, mouths open like they were screaming, but no sound came out. The whispers turned into wails, and before they could run, the walls, well, they took them, pulled them right in, leaving nothing behind. The whole town vanished after that, boy, and the mine, they say it's still there, waiting for anyone foolish enough to go looking. 2. The mirror weaver. Ah, mirrors. They're more than they seem, you know. My granddad warned me about one in particular, said it belonged to a woman who should have left well enough alone. A young lady, Eliza, moved into a grand old house left to her by some distant kin. Among the things left behind was a mirror, big and fancy, silver frame with strange symbols carved into it. Looked like a treasure, but my granddad said treasures often come with a price. At first, it was just a mirror, but then her reflection started misbehaving. It grinned when she didn't, stared when she looked away. One night, it spoke to her, said it was a weaver, a thing that could take her place if she let it. Well, one night, the mirror was empty, no reflection at all, but she heard footsteps in the hall. My granddad swore she wasn't seen again, and the mirror? Nobody knows where it went. Might be in some attic, waiting for the next poor soul. 3. The bone lantern. Now this one, boy, it comes from the sea folk, those fishermen who live by tides and storms. My granddad met a man who swore on his life it was true. There's a village, they say, where the dead don't get graves. Instead, they make lanterns out of their bones. Guides their souls, they say. A traveler found himself there one stormy night, seeking shelter. The villagers let him stay, but he noticed how they all avoided a certain part of the woods. Curiosity got the better of him. That night, he saw ghostly lights weaving through the trees. He followed them and found a circle of lanterns, their pale light casting shadows of dancing spirits. These weren't happy spirits, no, they were trapped, forced to swirl around some great bonfire. One of them saw him and whispered, "Run." But before he could, the villagers were behind him, with ropes and a cruel look in their eyes. My granddad said the traveler didn't run fast enough. 4. The 13th step. Ah, stairs in the woods. Now that's a bad omen. My granddad told me about a staircase folks found once deep in the forest. Never should have climbed it. They say if you count 13 steps, you'll find something that shouldn't be there. A door. That's what happened to a girl named Sarah and her friends. They climbed it, just to prove the stories weren't real. But when they hit the 13th step, there it was. A black door with faces carved into it, all twisted up like they were screaming. Sarah opened it. Inside was nothing but stars, endless and cold. Then she saw it, a figure in the distance, looked just like her, but wrong. It smiled wider than it should and rushed at her. The door slammed shut, and when her friends found her, she wasn't right. Kept mumbling about 13 steps, even though they swore there were only 12. 5. The grinning ones. Oh, this one'll send shivers down your spine. My granddad said it came from the suburbs, where life's supposed to be safe, but even there, evil finds a way. One day, people started seeing flyers on lampposts. Just a smiley face, nothing else. Then folks began disappearing. A man named Mark noticed those houses had red, smiley faces painted on their windows. One night, Mark found a flyer on his door. Laughter echoed outside. When he peeked out, he saw them. Figures standing in the street, faces stretched into awful grins like their skin was pulled too tight. They didn't move or speak, just stared. By morning, Mark was gone, and his house was marked. My granddad said the flyers started appearing in another neighborhood soon after. Maybe it's your neighborhood next, eh?